Hello my friends, wherever you are, all over the world. William Poloniak here at Whole Health Foundation. And today I'm going to make a juice with whatever's fresh from my garden. So let's go to the garden and we'll pick a few vegetables. One of the vegetables I love in my juices is French sorrel because it cleanses every gland in your body. So I'm going to harvest one whole French sorrel plant. You can see I have several down here, but we'll harvest this one. Just cut off all the leaves, and then we're going to wash this and spin it in the salad spinner and put it in my juice. And you can see that I harvested this one and it's already growing back. And let's go over here and we're going to pick a few collard leaves. Here we have collard greens, nice healthy collard greens, and we'll pick maybe 3 or 4 off a couple of these plants. That should be enough for now. And we're going to pick some Swiss chard leaves as well. Maybe 4 or 5 Swiss chard leaves. And that's all that we're going to pick from the garden for today. So what I'm going to do with the French sorrel is wash it and then spin it in the salad spinner. And when I'm washing it, I'm going to pick out any dead produce or anything that looks like it's damaged and not juiceable. The rest of this goes in the salad spinner. We'll give it a good spin, put it in a plastic bag to cool in the refrigerator for 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll make juice. Next we'll take the salad spinner, we'll give that a couple of good spins, pour off the water, spin it again, and put it in the plastic bag and into the refrigerator. All this produce will go. So I'll put my collard greens, my Swiss chard, and the French sorrel in a plastic bag, put it in the refrigerator for 15-20 minutes, maybe half an hour, let it cool down, and then we'll make our juice. And let's take a look at the rest of my ingredients. I have here 60 grams of ginger, 45 grams of turmeric, 2 pounds of tomatoes, and in the fridge I have 6 pounds of squash and 8 pounds of carrots. Right, I'm going to begin my juice, and what I have here for my ingredients is about 4 Swiss chard leaves, a whole bunch of French sorrel, some collard greens, and I have about 6 pounds of little pumpkins. So I'm going to cut them into manageable pieces. I'm going to start by juicing the collard greens, but first I'm going to plug in my thermometer and add 3 ice cubes to cool down the color. We'll cycle that ice, and we'll begin with collard greens. We'll do our Swiss chard. Baby pumpkin squashes. If you push your produce through too fast, you could jam it, and what you do is turn the machine off and then click it a few times to jump start it, but keep this covered. There we go. So every so often you push produce too quickly and that creates a temporary jam. So just turn the machine off and then jump start it with the switch a couple times. Next I'll add my tomatoes, but I'm going to cut it into manageable slices. And the cherry tomatoes we'll just pour into there.
Whoa, there it goes.
Like I said, keep it covered. Push things like tomatoes or cucumber that's very liquid, watery, you'll get a blowback. Next I'm going to do the rest of my greens, do the French sorrel and then the carrots. Now remember to keep this covered so you don't get a blowback, because we just put some tomatoes through and they're very liquid, and then what they will do is clean the chute and get rid of focusing on to prevent some blowback. So just as a reminder, when you put ice scoops through, or tomatoes or cucumber that cleans the chute, you want to make sure you're double safe. Keep this covered so you don't have both. I can see my motor's working hard, so I'm going to take the grid out and clean it. Scrape both sides of the grid, and then we'll start again. My temperature's up to 34 already, so I'm going to add 3 ice cubes. Whenever you put ice cubes through, go very slowly because you want the cold to transfer to the cutter and the feed tube notch. And I'll put 3 more ice cubes. You do a close-up of the thermometer. So we went from 35 down to 20. There's a 30-second delay, so it's down to 22. Okay, now I'm going to take the camera from my camera person and introduce Leslie and her husband Jeff and their daughter who came from Canada to get a demonstration and buy a juicer. So I'll give you back the camera again, and let's finish the greens.
How often do you make juice?
What was that?
How often do you make juice?
I make juice about twice a week when I'm on a juice fast, once a week if I'm eating solid food. Okay, here's the last of my greens, and I have 1 cucumber. I'm going to put 2 carrots in here. And then I'm going to clean the J-grid, which is the best for, sometimes you have to try something which is best for greens. And then I'm going to switch to the number 2 grid, which is better for carrots. The J grid is 3 16-inch holes, and the number 2 grid is 1 8-inch holes, which is better for carrots.
So larger grid for greens, smaller
Yes.
grid for carrots.
Right. All right, we're down to the last of our carrots. I just want to point out, when you use the last of your produce, there's always a little plug of carrot in here. So it's a good idea to take some pulp, put it inside, turn the machine on, and force that last plug through. Let's do that more than once. That way you don't have a plug of carrot up here. So the next step is going to be to clean the feed tube and the juicer, reassemble, mix the produce, and then make some juice.
Why do you want to clean that first? Why don't you just clean it when it's all done?
I like, just a habit, I like to clean it first. So we got a really good mix here. I turn the bowl on both ways. And one reason to wear gloves is a good idea, because you can do things like use your glove, like I'm doing now, like a little spatula to clean up the edge of your bowl. So next we're going to make some juice. I've got 1 new juicing cloth here because in my last juicing session the pressure was so strong that I burst through one of these cloths. This cloth is 40 years old. They do last a long, long time. But I would say after 30 years you want to be very careful using your cloths. The rest of these cloths are 40 years old also. And I like to use juice in sets of 6 cloths. That's why I've got 1 new one. Squash and French sorrel with some tomato, ginger, and turmeric. I'm going to put 3 spoonsfuls, it's about a cup, and then fold this over, flatten that down, fold this over, flatten it down, little crease back here, and then watch carefully my folding technique. With your fingers you tuck it under like so, and then set it aside. 2 more cloths, turn this on. While that's pressing, we're going to make 2 more cloths of pulp. Okay, let's focus on the cloths now so I can show you my 6 cloths method. Now here's my 6 cloth less work method. This goes over, That goes over there. The spent cloths go on top. And the new set of 2 cloths, centered left to right, front to back, that's very important. Back it off a little bit. And then what we're going to do is package new pulp on top of the old pulp. We're not going to throw the pulp away.
Why is that?
And what's going to happen is the new pulp will hydrate the old pulp as well as press juice out. And it basically saves time. So pull it into a tight package, flatten it, set it aside. Forward. That goes over. Now, since we're putting new pulp on top of the old pulp, there's no need to wait for every last drop.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do now is press 2 more cloths, back it off a little bit, and repackage this as before. We're going to put pulp on top.
Now, what is the difference with the old press and the new plate?
I'm going to show you. Mine has the new bottom plate on it.
Yeah.
When we're at the end of the session, I'm going to show you the difference. You'll get at least 1 ounce per pound of produce extra because you're able to leave this press up longer. That's a little bit more. Now I'm going to do a variation on my 6 cloth method, my less work 6 cloth method. I'm going to put the old pulp back in the bowl to absorb all the juice in here. And then we're going to mix that in, and then we'll start again with new pulp. Okay, because my cloths started squirting at me, I'm switching to a new set of 6 cloths mid-session because they started squirting at me. And I want to minimize that. These are longer cloths. They've been laundered, 30 or 40 years now. So when your cloths start squirting at you, it's time to switch to a new set of clean cloths. So we've got a new set of cloths now because we were getting too much squirting from the old set. Put that over. Set that aside. Remember, if you've got carrots in your mix, you do not need a bamboo liner. If you're doing only fruit or only greens, you would want to use a bamboo liner.
Why is that?
Your pulp will stick to the cloth if you do only greens or only fruit. And you want to minimize your cleanup. And you notice with the new cloths, no squirting. Goes up there, this end, all the way back it off a little bit, and then we'll start again with my less work 6 cloth method. Put 1 spoon of pulp on top of the old pulp, and then repackage. I'm going to repackage all of this pulp into a tight ball, press it again to see how much more juice can we get from a Whole Health Foundation juicer with the premium bottom base plate. So I'm going to pull this into a tight package, and then we'll press them again using a measuring beaker this time to see how much extra juice can we actually get using the Whole Health Foundation premium model juicer with the premium bottom plate. So I'm going to use a measuring beaker, and let's first of all put in 2 repackaged cloths. Put it in the press, centered left to right, front to back. All the way forward, back it off a little bit. We do not want this to go up too quickly. So far from 1 set of cloths we have 4 ounces of juice. So I'll put in another set of cloths here and see how much more juice we're going all the way back it off a little bit. Once we get juice flow, we'll advance it a little bit more. So far 8 ounces, advance it all the way.
so I'm going to pour it into a container and put in the last set of the 6 cloths, seeing if we get any more juice out of that. It's a tight fit. Centered left to right, front to back. Centering it is very, very important. All the way back, back it off a little bit. Remember, we do not want this to go up too quickly. And as soon as we get juice flow, we'll advance it a little bit more. There's another 4 ounces, so I'm going to put in one more cloth and see if we can crank out any more juice. All the way back, back it off a little bit. As soon as we get juice flow, we'll advance it a little bit more. Another 5 ounces so far. So far that's 14 more ounces. Advance it all the way. Now as long as I have the juice flowing steadily, I'll leave it up. As soon as it turns into drops and drips, I'll back it off. That's it, all the way. 9 more ounces so far. Well, my beaker's full, so I'm not going to press it. You get the idea. So we'll pour this in here. So now we've got 18 more ounces. All right, in this juicing session, we were able to get 5, 10, 11 bottles of juice. A little more than one 16-ounce bottle using the Whole Health Foundation premium model juicer. Well, there you have it, my friends. I hope you like what you've seen, and if you do, please tell a friend. If you'd like to contact me, my phone number is 760-753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. I'll see you in the next video.